Can we stop ranking teams just because they have a great record? Like, think about this. ESPN loves to do this. FS1 loves to do this. They rank teams, and they rank them just by their record. And that would be fine in most common practices. It's like, okay, if a team's 5-0, they're probably the number one team. Except that if you're at a job, you're employed to do this task, it is with the thought process that you do this task or you perform these deeds better than somebody else that would be in this same position. What makes you any more qualified or better than me if you're just ranking teams based off their record? Like, what does it take to sit there and be like, okay, well, the Chiefs are 5-1, the Eagles are 5-1, they must be the two best teams in the league. And I will give you, should they be in consideration for best team in the league? Of course. Should they be in consideration for one of the top spots on your list? Of course. But it doesn't make them the number 1 and 2 team just because their records are 5-1. You know who actually the best team in the league is? And I don't think they're getting talked enough about? The best team in the NFL as of now, after 6 weeks we've played, and it's been a crazy season. There's been a bunch of stuff that even quote-unquote experts and even people like myself have messed up on it, have been so dead wrong. Like, I picked the Raiders and Cowboys for the Super Bowl, and I look really bad right now. I can recover, but I look really bad right now. The best team in the league is the Houston Texans, and it's not even close. Think about this. You have the most touchdowns out of your quarterback in the NFL, and he hasn't even played every game. He's played 5.5. You have possibly the most dynamic pair of receivers in the league in a DeAndre Hopkins and a Will Fuller. You've got a good offensive line, which half the league, you can even make a case 70% of the league does not currently have. You have a defense that even without J.J. Watt, last year was top 5. And probably is even better. Jadeveon Clowney looks even better. Whitney Merciless looks even better. Brian Cushing's been suspended, but, you know, he's just on steroids. Like, what are you going to do about that? Steroids, man. The Houston Texans, and I know I've been saying this about Kansas City, and that's only because I think I fell into the Kansas City hype. But who are you going to take going long term? Deshaun Watson, Alex Smith. I'll take my chances with Deshaun Watson. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce is the combo for the Chiefs. Give me DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller for the reasoning of Tyreek Hill. As much as I like him, he is a spat player, meaning he is not just a full-time wide receiver. He's not just a running back. He is a, hey, get me out in space and watch me do these things because I'm really fast. But I've told you guys before, they tried it with Reggie Bush, and Reggie Bush was more successful when he became a full-time running back. Carolina's doing it with Christian McCaffrey. He'll be more effective when he becomes a full-time running back. Tyreek Hill will become a more effective player when he's actually given a position. You take... At running back is the one spot I'll give you. Kareem Hunt is off to a better start than Lamar Miller, but does not mean that Lamar Miller is not a serviceable running back, especially with a better offensive line in Houston than Kansas City. Give me Houston's defense, which has shown over the last 2 years it's top 5 with or without J.J. Watt, compared to Kansas City, which I think is more overrated, and they're much like the Saints were, whereas they were when the Saints were going to the playoffs every year, and they had a turnover-hungry defense, not necessarily a yards or a stout defense. Houston has the better defense, QB, better set of weapons, more consistent set of weapons, and I really like Travis Kelce. And they have a better offensive line. Running back's the one thing you're like, okay, Kansas City has. And even compare him with Philadelphia. With Philadelphia, I'll take Wentz over Watson, but I like Watson's weapons. Offensive line I'll give to the Eagles. And then defensively, it's 100% in Houston's favor. Compare Houston to any team that you want. They check more boxes than any other team. I have a rule of thumb that I go by, and it used to be with the Chargers back in 06, 07, and you're like, okay, what do they look like coming off the bus? The Chargers, when they came off the bus back then, a young Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Lorenzo Neal, Sean Phillips, Sean Merriman, just got Quentin Jammer, Antonio Cromartie younger in his career. They had so many guys that when they just got off the bus, Nate Kading as a kicker, you just looked at him and went, oh, fuck. Like, everybody's seen, hopefully, Space Jam, like the Monstars. I think certain teams get off the bus and they're just the Monstars. The Houston Texans are the Monstars of the NFL right now. There is not a scarier roster in the league. Seattle almost was there a few years ago when they had Russell Wilson and they had that stacked roster. You take a team like the Redskins back in the 80s, those Charger teams that I talked about. There's certain teams, they just get off the bus and they look scary. And that's not just having a good offense. It's not just having a great defense. You get off the bus and everywhere you're just like, we're in for a rough day. Don't forget, if you liked anything that you heard or anything that you saw, please like, subscribe, go follow me. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, HardFoulPodcast, on the podcast app on iTunes, Snapchat, JKid9080. If you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you guys. Please leave those comments down below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out.